Good afternoon, collectors. Thanks for taking a few minutes out of your afternoon to spend some time with us. I'm Melinda Seegers from Department 56, your Miss Littown, and this is our June 6th version of Facebook Live. We really appreciate you participating in this with us. Ask your questions, give suggestions, comments, likes and dislikes along the way. We want to be able to bring you information that you want to see and hear, and we need your input in order to do that. I want to give you a quick update on the flag auction that we started on Monday. We've had over 20 bids, and we're up to just about $300 as the highest bid. Bidding will continue until June 13th, next Thursday at 4 p.m. Central Time. Is that right, Nate? Central Time? Okay. The winner will be then notified, and we will announce the lucky collector on our Facebook page after they've been notified. Remember that 100% of the proceeds will benefit the Ronald McDonald House here in the Twin Cities. It's a charity that Department 56 has worked with since 1990, and there are Ronald McDonald houses all over the United States and in Canada, and many of our collector clubs do work with them on an annual basis, going in and helping serve meals and decorating for the holidays for families who are away from home at these important times of the year. So it's a really good organization, and we're very pleased to be working with them, and we hope we can raise more than $300 for them. So keep those bids coming in. It's pretty hard not to know that today is June 6th, which is the 70th anniversary of the landing in Normandy by the French, the English, and Canadian and U.S. forces. We call it D-Day. And to all the servicemen who are out there and may have served in this most important campaign, we salute you. And I have my little flag. I think we should fly our flags at home on this kind of day. It means a lot to me because 75 years ago, my father was there. He landed on Omaha Beach. And he never told me the story. My older sister shared the story with me after he passed away. He never talked about being in the war. But I'm sure many of you have stories that your fathers or grandfathers or maybe even great-grandfathers have told you. But my dad was in one of those Higgins boats, and the waters were choppy, and the boat opened up a little soon. They went into the water and were told, you get out there and you get on the beach, and he almost drowned. And if it hadn't been for a buddy who pulled him by his shirt's neck and pulled him up out of the water, I think he would have drowned, and I wouldn't be here talking to you today. So there's been a lot of publicity about D-Day, and on my bucket list is to go to Omaha Beach and see where that all happened. So just wanted to give a shout out to anyone who might be watching who is former military or anyone who has served in the military. We need to continue to remember these people. Mid-year brochure just arrived this week, hot off the presses, and as it's been in the last couple of years, our mid-year brochure will be a flip book. And this is what we call a flip book. So one side is Village, one side is for the snow babies, and I think there's also some of the like the collectible animal that's coming for next year, things like that. So a great addition to your library of information on Department 56. This is getting ready to be put up on our website, and it will be ready for you to order sometime next week. Retail stores will be getting theirs in the next few weeks, so if it's something you normally get through a retail store, you'll be able to get it then. The last time we were together, I showed you some of the drawings that are done by our artists when they design village pieces. Today I want to show you another step in the process, and these are called paper models. Some are more elaborate than others, and I've got several here that I want to show you. What they do, here's the first one. This is, it says here it's called the Persian rug. I think it was called Pickering's. This is a Dickens Village piece. And the process is the same whether it be Dickens Village, North Pole, Christmas in the City. They take the flat art, make multiple copies of it because they want to make the front, they do the side, they do the back. They show the orientation from the top, and here you can see this is where the dormer window is put on. This shows exactly where the chimney is to be placed and things in the front. This one happens to have a little awning here in front. And so they can show the sculptors exactly what it's going to look like. The other thing that they can do is they can take it and they can set this into the display and see, is this going to go? Is this going to match up with some of the other pieces that have already been designed? So very often I'll be walking through our showroom here and the artist will be bringing in a paper model and testing it out to see if this works. So this is a Dickens Village piece. I've got a couple of other ones here that I wanted to share as well. This is, oh, it fell off again. That's okay. This is Molly O'Brien's Pub, which is a piece that a lot of you have in your collection, and for some reason this one has dried out a little bit and the end piece came. But you can see the dormer on it. Again, you can see the roof line. This has a little extra detail, and they really have to be quite talented to put these together in a three-dimensional format so that they can see exactly what they're going to be dealing with. Usually they are on a styrofoam base like this. They use what they call foam core, and that's how this would look. So it is their drawings that they take and they do them in a dimensional format. Pretty neat. They even will go so far as to put the placement for where they're going to be putting the light hole on the back. And this is an older piece. I believe this one is from 1999. So they were still putting the light holes in the back of the piece instead of in the bottom. So they wanted to make sure that they weren't going to be cutting the hole someplace where they had a special attachment or they had some special detail that they were going to be putting on the piece. We got to glue that one back on. A couple of these will show up in Cincinnati at our convention coming up in a couple of weeks, and you may be able to bid on something like this. It would be a one-of-a-kind item that you can bid on and take home and have in your own display. So remember that. Here is a Harley-Davidson piece. I think this is a really neat one. And this shows a couple of different things. Now this would be round, and this is how our artists do this. They show that it has dimension, but they don't do it in a full round format. So they show where it's going to be on the where the chimney stacks are, but they do just kind of a front and side dimension for them. And here we have this had a half round roof, and so it's quite detailed work to put these together. We've got the Harleys on this side, and they've got the dimension for that, so that the sculptors and the mold makers over in the Orient know exactly what we have in mind, so there's no question as to how to make the mold to put these together. This is a really neat piece. This is the Harley-Davidson Happy Harley Days piece. And again, they do it on a foam core so that it has a nice solid base. They might put it in the display to see, is this going to work with other Harley-Davidson piece? Now this one I wanted to show you because sometimes if it has some interesting attachments, they have a whole shelf full of little goodies in our art studio where they will use actual trees. If there are trees on the piece, they will instead of trying to do these out of cardboard or paper, they will use actual little sisal trees. Here's a little light that they have added from their stash, and in front you can see here that they've got little sisals that they've added to just show the factory exactly what and where these pieces will go. Again, they've got some drawings on the top to show where the snow goes, because this, of course, was a Snow Village piece. They've got the really intricate little half round awning over the front door, and this, I think they used a piece of styrofoam, so it was probably a styrofoam ball that they used and created this so that everything is done just right for the artist. Sometimes they are just done in black and white. Sometimes they're done in color. I looked all over the building, could not find one that was done in color. Occasionally, years ago, more so than now, colored models like this, colored paper models, might have been in the showroom holding a place for the sample until it came from the factories. We try not to do that anymore, and I think we've gotten a little bit better about our lead time in getting the first samples in time, so we don't have to have a paper model in the showroom for sales reps to see and have the actual sample. So this one I wanted to show you because it does have some color on it, but I couldn't find anything that was all colored that isn't already introduced, because I did find one for next year, but I'm not showing you that one. Okay, now I've got 3 little accessories that I wanted to go over with you and show you. I'm going to try to have some. This is for Halloween. This is, I know, starting to ship now, and I think this one's got a lot of nice color to it. This is a new series, and I asked Scott about it today. It's called the Ice Cream Truck. So I scream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. It's a neat little piece. It comes with a battery box. So I have hooked it up to an AC/DC adapter here to show you how bright it is. It is a bright accessory. And I think it's got some really cute things. Scott has a good time with this. It says lick you back here, which I think is kind of funny. And there's a cat up here. So, you know, everybody likes ice cream called Moose Tracks. Well, this isn't Moose Tracks. This is called Mouse Tracks. And then there's a little black cat there who's putting her tracks in the mouse tracks. But a really cute piece. And I think Scott's going to have a good time with this. I told him today that I think his next piece for the series should be a ribs truck, because we're looking for gory stuff for this series. And Scott said that the reason they decided to do these kind of trucks is to go with the Roadkill grill from a couple of years ago. So if you've got the Roadkill grill, you'll want to have the little food truck outside. And then here is the accessory, and the server from the truck is outside, and he is torturing the poor little kid with his ice cream. He says, "I'll tell you." Let's say I forget what it's called. I'll ice cream you, or something. I forget what it's called, but he's pointing to the ice cream, and instead of giving it to him, he's kind of throwing it down on the ground. Poor little kid. But very cute. Lots of detail on that one. Another one. This is a really neat series. That one was, of course, done by Scott Enter. This one is an accessory done by Tom Bates, and he's been doing the Crips since 1913. So this year's is quite elaborate. It's got a little accessory that lights up. It's a little skeleton kind of coming out of the ground, and the pumpkin is lit. And of course the crypt is lit as well. It's got a light over the door, and it's got some purple lights from inside. It's got a little tree that is attached to it, and then adding the cross for the top and the bats. So quite an elaborate little piece. I think it looks kind of Scandinavian in its design. When I asked Tom about it, he said he really looks at old cemetery crypts and tries to find things that are so that each one is different. And this one certainly is different than any other one that he's done. And he's been doing these every year since 2013. The last lighted accessory that I want to show you is another one that Tom has been doing for quite a while. Actually, he's been doing these Christmas market pieces since 2008. It's Sometimes you plug them in lit before. There we go. Okay. And this is the Christmas Stollen. So this is where you would go and buy your Christmas bread or maybe even your fruit cake. I don't like either one of those. I don't like that candied fruit. But it's a very traditional German Christmas item. My mother used to make them every year, and these always come with the accessory. And as you can see here, she's rolling out her Christmas Stollen, but the cat is kind of close by in case something falls to the ground. A lot of these will have a cute little kitty cat. I think that's because the artist who does the accessories likes cats. So that's another cute one. And we don't talk enough about Alpine Village, so I think those are really cute. And if you just collected the Christmas markets, they would be cute just to have as a cute little grouping. They're very tiny, very small footprints, so wouldn't take up much space. Be cute on a bookshelf or even on a fireplace mantle to put them all together. That gives me an idea. Maybe I'll do that this year. If you've heard rumblings that there might be a second mid-year introduction, you're right. Tomorrow, June 7th, there will be a small grouping of pieces introduced along with the UNESCO June introductions. UNESCO traditionally has done 4 introductions a year, and we sometimes can piggyback on their introduction. So there will be something coming tomorrow. Can't tell you what it is. They won't let me, but it is in this brochure, and you will probably see something up online probably over the weekend with information about a new exciting introduction, and I think some of you will be very excited about it. Hope some of you will be joining us in Cincinnati coming up a little bit later in June 19th to the 23rd. Paul Lundberg, our artist, one of our village artists, will be joining me, and we'll have a really great weekend. We're going to be going on the riverboat cruise on Wednesday night, so you'll be able to meet and talk with Paul if you'd like. Be sure to attend the opening ceremony and Paul's seminar on Friday. Paul is going to be talking about his creative process and how he puts things together and how he's worked on Harry Potter, but more than Harry Potter, because Paul does North Pole, most of the licensed pieces, A Christmas Story, and some other interesting things, maybe something that might be introduced tomorrow. And we will show you pictures of all of those things. And I have the pleasure of giving you all some very exciting information, a special announcement that will be made on Friday at the convention. So be there or be square, as they say. I will be giving a seminar on Saturday as well, and mine is going to deal with Christmas traditions and how they've developed in the United States. And you might know some of these things, but I found a lot of information out. It's amazing what you can get on the internet. So I hope you'll join us for that. Next time, we hope to be able to show you a little bit more in the production process as far as how pieces are made. I am looking to find some wax models, because the next step in the process, they do the flat drawings and they do the paper models like these. And then the next step would be to sculpt this out of wax. And I'm already working to get a wax model to show you how that occurs, and that then is what they will make the actual molds from. So we'll do another step in the process. And speaking of time, in 2 weeks, the 20th, we'll be in Cincinnati, so we won't be here to do a Facebook Live session. We will come to you again the following week on the 27th at the same time, 4 p.m. Central. If you've got questions, please post them online, and I'll try to answer everything that I can before the end of the day. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you soon, and see you in Cincinnati.